Yes, good afternoon to everyone. Welcome again to our weekly webinar, Stopping the Violence in America. I just wanted to give you a little short background. My name is Reverend Zachary Oliver. I'm the Vice President of UPF, which is the co-sponsor for this webinar that has been going on for 3 years. We've had over those 3 years just some incredible speakers have waken us up and open our eyes that there are so many wonderful, excellent best practices out there that from diverse backgrounds, from community activists, police chiefs, and religious leaders, and teachers, and so on and so on. There are people who are engaged in really playing a strategic and a sustainable role in stopping violence in their respective areas. But what we found that we want to be a catalyst to bring all of those different silos, if you will, in one collective body to work together in order to create a national impact. Just like to give a little background, the founder was Mother, what we affectionately call Mother Moon, but Dr. Hochschild Moon, who really said we need to deal with gun violence in America. We need to address that issue, which is a critical and issue that is facing the nation, and not only the nation but the world. But we found out, as always said, that a gun is an inanimate object. It takes someone to pick that gun up and shoot someone, to harm someone, to maim someone, to do something to his fellow brother or sister that will critically endanger lives or the others' lives. So we realized that there were some issues out there. There were some what we call what are the motivating factors that causes a person to pick up a gun, and it has been of an extraordinary learning curve for us. And so the speakers that we've had on our previous webinars have taught us that there are some um, ways in which we preventions and other ways that we can deal with that we might have not have thought about, or to deal with the curbing the violence in America, and so in their prospective communities. So it's been a wonderful and excellent journey. But again, we're at another juncture this week where we have another excellent speaker that we're looking forward to hearing from. And her name is Catrice Champion. And just give you a little background. Uh, Catrice Champion is committed member of Mad Dads who work tirelessly to address and prevent violence. She is driven by a deep desire to inspire positive change after losing her son to a senseless violence in the community. It is overwhelming heartbreak that no parent should have to endure. She speaks in schools, sharing her stories, urging others to turn their lives around. And her topic is young people, why young people, the untold story. We want to welcome you to our platform, and we're quite sure that you have a lot to share with us that will touch our hearts and give us some even more insights on how we can play or we can contribute to the process of stopping, like you said, these senseless violence in our community. Welcome, Catrice.
Thank you. Thank you. My story is yet to be told. Going in and out of schools, dealing with young people, and excuse me, seeing their beautiful faces, and then going back to the schools, and they're not there. Um, it's heartbreaking to me. The violence never stops. And when it first happened to me, I thought I was one of the parents that I was that it couldn't have happened to me because I kept my kids on a leash. When I say that I kept my kids on a leash, that child Chucky, I actually had him on a leash when he was young. He was the child that I actually put on that leash. And people used to laugh because I had him in the stores on the leash, and he actually this one day we were in the store and I was walking, and he actually had took himself off the leash, and people was laughing because I kept walking and he unleashed himself. And to say that is to say that one day you will be walking and your child will not be there with you. You will be walking and you can lose out for life. The untold story is yet to be told. And I'm still telling my story today to all children in schools, in parks, in churches. I am telling my story like I am today to you all. Um, this story is heartbreaking. It's it's old to a lot of people, but it's still new to me. And it's new to you all that I'm telling today. I lost my mother 4 days after I lost my son, Chucky. Chucky was sitting on a couch, and an elderly guy pulled a trigger and shot Chucky in the head. But I told Chucky that he was going to lose his life 6 months before he lost his life, sitting up on a couch. And this good boy, to go on with this story, I'm going to uh, take it a little faster. When I go across different states to tell this story, I tell it pretty fast, and I take a body bag with me. I take a body bag, and and I have all the people in the room with me, and I make sure they bring their children with them. I don't exempt children. I want all the parents to bring their children out to come when I'm speaking. Um, and I make sure a child come up missing in the audience. And and when I get through speaking, a child is missing out of the crowd. A child is missing. And this one particular time that I told my story, excuse me, a child was missing out of the crowd, and the body bag was filled. And this mother was on a walker. She walked up and she was crying, and she walked past her walker, and she unzipped that body bag because all the mothers were looking for their children, and her child was gone. And she unzipped that body bag, and that's when it hit her. See, a lot of mothers aren't going to get that chance to unzip that body bag and retrieve their children. You're not going to retrieve your children. Once that yellow tape is around your children, you're not going to retrieve your children. You have a chance today to get your children. You have a chance today to speak up to your children. You have a chance today to check your children's bedrooms. You have a chance to have conversations with your children. You have a chance to go to your children's schools. You have a chance to talk to your children's friends. You have a chance to have gatherings at your homes. You have a chance to sit down and just let it marinate with your children's the importance of life, the importance of living, the importance of loving your children, the importance of family, the importance of loving the neighbors, the importance of loving parents, the importance of loving siblings. The violence starts from home. When you can sit up and let your child fight their siblings, that's where it starts. When you can sit up and have a misunderstanding and you don't solve it in the home and you continue to let it go on, it's a problem. If they can love outside the home and don't love inside the home, it's a problem. We have to change. We have to change it. We have to change the way we walk. We have to change the way we talk today. We sit up and talk about what we have problems with the presidential. We have problems with the what the doctors are doing. Well, we have to start changing what we're doing in our homes today. The untold story is yet to be told. It's up to us to make the changes in our lives. It's up to us to put the guns down. We don't have to have guns to solve situations. We don't have to have guns. We know what guns do. Guns kill. We know this. Throw them guns away. We know this. We know when the blinkers are wrong. We know when when we don't have insurance. We know this. So why cause problems? We know if the police it why cause problems with the police? Yes, sir, officer. I have nothing, officer. Throw your hands up in the yes. Yes. Whatever you want me to do. Don't go tit for tat. Teach our children if they're in a situation. Don't run. Don't run. We have to teach our children how to live in this world. Don't send them out there. When I was a little girl, I couldn't dance down the street for the neighbor to see me bucking. No, teach our children. We don't teach our children. The violence have to stop. It's up to us. And we talk about how the village raise our children. The village can destroy our children. The village has been destroying our children. We have to raise our children in our homes. That's where it starts before we let our children out there in the village. It takes a village to raise. Our village has been destroying our children. So I take that to say, stop letting the village raise our children. Let's start raising our children in our homes and stop being lazy parents. Put them guns down. Throw them guns away. When they start letting us, they let handicap, disabled, they let everybody register for guns. We don't need them guns anymore. Them guns have been killing our kids. They don't know how to shoot guns. This isn't the Wild Wild West. These kids never watched a show gun smoke on TV. They don't know nothing about carrying guns. Stop giving guns to people. said it's safety for homes. Safety is having God in our homes. That's what safety is. Put them guns. I don't need no gun in my home. I need God in my home. That's what you need in your home. Get King Jesus in your home and you'll be all right. The untold story is yet to be told. Mommatrice is everywhere. If you want Mommatrice to talk to you, I can do that. It's time to make changes in our homes, in our schools. It's time to eat a new way. It's time to take our babies and teach them. Don't let our babies teach us. It can't be. It can't be. But we can learn from them. We can find out what they know and teach them what we know. Remember, a disobedient child shorten their days. Look at our babies. They're losing their lives to the streets because we're not doing our job. We have to make some changes, parents. We got to get on our job. It's a 24-hour day job. It's up to us. It's up to us to make changes. It's up to us. Thanks for hearing me.
Well, thank you so much for those incredible but very succinct, if I will say, words and points that you've made. I know that you didn't go into details about your story and what the process of um, which led up to this gentleman shooting your son in the head. But I would like just to comment on some of the points that you said, and I've heard several times on these programs and listening to speakers, and it's become a cliche, if you will, and that it takes a village to raise a child. But as you have said, and as we have been learning on this webinar, that we have to readdress the village.
Yes, yes,
You know, and readdress that introspectively,
yes.
uh, and look at that why the village was raising our children, why our children are dying, you know. And one other critical point that you share is you're saying that you know the we have to teach our children how to live, and the village is not teaching them how to live. Actually, the village is teaching them how to die. And I thought about a Kirk Franklin. You know, he has this song called "Stop, Da, 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 Da," and he makes a point that always stood out and just just penetrated my mind and my heart, myself. He said, I went to church and the preacher taught me how to shout, but he forgot to teach me how to live.
Mm.
That's a powerful statement he made.
Yes, yes.
And I think that's what you were alluding to, the same fact. So I want to thank you so much for your passion, for your insight, and I'm quite sure that the dramatization of that body bag really awakens many of the parents. And as you said, at least they can take that child out of that body bag and walk them home.
When
But
that
it
when that
also wakes them up.
seen child come up, when she seen her baby come up out that body bag, Oh my God, she screamed and cried and held her child, and all the mothers in that room was just crying. That when I go and do that story, and it just touches the mothers. It's deep. It's deep, and them mothers, it touches them because they don't you don't get the chance to do that. You don't get that chance once they lose their child and they feel it and they see it. You don't get to get your child. They're gone. They're gone. But that mother got her child. But I didn't go on with the story. She lost her child 3 years after that. Her child got shot and he got killed. He died. And I was on the front row with her child in a
Mm.
casket. She lost her child after that.
Wow.
And now I go through with her every year right around Christmas. That baby ended up in a body bag.
Mm.
Mm. Wow.
And what hurts me is that I put him in the first body bag.
Mm.
Mm.
Wow.
I
Wow.
think that I want to thank you so much for that. But I think that uh, I think we have to go back to the village and play a
Yeah.
critical role in re-educating the village. I think you woke her up, but then who walked her through the steps of the prevention that it was needed within herself to toward her child as well. So these are the things that actually, Dr. Matter, we have to continuously address in the upcoming conference that we're going to discuss these things because these untold stories are overlooked, if you will. You know, they don't really pay attention to them. They just say these little bad kids, blah, blah, blah. But if we're going to solve a problem, we have to look at the root cause of some of the problems. And the
Yes.
root cause is within the community and within the breakdown of the family. You know, as you had said, once upon a time, the family played that critical role, even in those communities, in helping to address and helping to curb violence and bad behavior. You
Mm.
know, uh, I always say that you watch some of our kids, in these communities. Sometimes the girls are worse than the boys when they open their mouth. So uh, when we as parents will address those our children at home, you said the violence starts at home. So that's a very powerful statement and perspective that you share with us. I just want to open up the floor for anyone else to make any comments or to ask questions to uh, Trees. Floor is open. Oh, Reverend Franklin, welcome to the platform.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Reverend Oliver. And thank you, uh, Ms. Champion. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much for sharing your heart and your heartfelt testimony.
You're
And
welcome.
yeah, and it really moved my heart, and really, I'm sure it touched everyone here who was part of that call, part of this call. Um, I wanted to ask you, does it seem as though that some parents who are struggling,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that they have come to a mindset where they feel overwhelmed with the nurturing of their children? And maybe they're going through a period where they are not really clear on how to be able to effectively deal with it.
I feel that the kids have got their parents in such a way to where they are at a standstill. That the kids have taken their parents' minds to where they are controlling. They have flipped the script on their parents. It's not a fear, but they have just taken over to where the parents just say, I'm gonna let y'all have y'all way.
Mm.
Y'all can live the way y'all want to live. This is y'all time to live. And I'm just gonna let y'all have y'all way.
Mm.
You know, I'm not gonna fight with you all. I'm not gonna fight as argue with you all. I'm not going to do that. It's a little fear because they don't know their children anymore.
Mm.
They don't know their children anymore. Out in the street, their children is so tough. You know, they hear their children on the phones talking. Their children is always in an uproar, and they don't know their children anymore. They children carrying guns, their children are on drugs, and they don't know. So their parents then gave their children a lot of parents, if they got God in their lives, they give their children to God, or they just let them go. Let them go. They let them come in their house when they want to, out of fear, and they just let them go. But in my case, in my case, I'm not giving up. I carry, I like I told my kids, grandmother, grand, that's large. Mother, that's a large title. And I'm carrying it to the day I leave this world. And y'all ain't taking it from me. When I laid down and had y'all mother, I am you all's mother. And y'all gonna stay in y'all's place. And mother, the kitchen is mine. That's my kitchen. Y'all ain't gonna come in my house and run my house. Y'all, look, I wash my own dishes. Y'all get out my kitchen. I cook my own food. Y'all gonna come in here, Mom, what's in the kitchen to eat? Y'all gonna respect me. Y'all ain't gonna cuss around me. Y'all ain't gonna disrespect me. I'm y'all's mother. Y'all kids is my grandkids. And y'all kids is gonna respect me. Like if my son called and said, did you take care of your grandmother today, kids? Y'all better take care of my mother. It goes on, a domino effect. You have
Mm.
to raise these kids. You
Mm.
got to raise them,
Yeah.
and you
And
got
you,
to pray for them.
yeah. And you
Mm.
feel, Miss Champion, that that has been a consistent mistake in our community for our parents
Yeah,
allowing themselves to let go of their children.
yes.
Mm.
And then I can't working. I got to pass it on. I got to give it to my daughter's friends. I got to give it to their friends. I got to keep giving it. I got to go on and give it to the next young girl, to the next young man. I got to give my arms. I got to say, son, I love you. I got so many kids. Well, how many kids you got? I got all of them. Of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Mm.
I got
God
all.
bless you.
So I got to continue to give them to the kids.
Mm.
Mm.
I got to continue to give them to the kids. And you know what? If I leave this world, my gonna say, I got so many kids. Not the kids I birthed. I
Right.
got many kids. That's what my kids gonna put.
Mm.
I got all of them.
Mm.
And when
And
they
that,
put Catrice kids stand up, I want all of them to stand up.
mm.
Because I raised them all.
Mm. Wow.
All the kids I fed at their basketball team, the girls, I went, I advocated them. I fed them before they went out to play basketball. I went to the girls' school, North High School, and I fed all the girls' basketball team. And I talked to them before they went out to play basketball. I encouraged them that you girls can do it. Fed them good string beans and good neck bones, chicken wings, and
Mm-mm.
girls can go. How did y'all
Man,
this week? Did y'all go through anything? I know y'all been reading up and seeing this R. Kelly stuff. You young girls, I know it's been messing with y'all. What's going on with y'all? I know it's on y'all's mind, and that's when that was going on. So I come in town, I fly in town, and I talk to the young girls, and I know young girls go through stuff. You know, why y'all doing? And so I'm that pop up mother to all. That's why I'm Mommatrice. I got that title. I deserve respect
amen.
And
everywhere.
that's the foundation of the village.
There you go.
That's the foundation of the village.
There you go.
Without question.
There you go.
Because it reminds me when I was growing up, all all my mom's friends, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, we need to address the issue of what has transpired in all these communities that allows us to fear our own children. And so those are the things that we need to discuss and needs to be corrected. I always say, no matter how ugly they act, people like Mama Catrice will confirm that if you touch them in the right way, all that wildness will dissipate. And they're looking for the warmth of the parent or the parental heart uh, and correction. Many of them are looking for correction, but don't know how to receive it because we're not making those sacrifices as Mama Catrice is making. I'd like to have James Parker also. Thank you, Reverend Franklin. Any other questions you have for her? Okay. Uh, Reverend James Parker, how are you? Welcome to the platform. I see
Good.
you.
I'm good. Yeah, just because you fathered a child doesn't mean you're a parent.
Yeah.
Just because you birthed a child doesn't make you a parent. You're just a mother. You're not a parent. Those are two separate things. A parent knows what's happening in the house with the child, outside of the house with the child, in the school with the child. That's a parent. You know, so so and it's our village. It's if we're not showing up in the village, they don't know what a chief look like if a chief ain't walking around. They
Mm.
have no idea. They think an Indian is a chief because they see no more feathers. They just see he got some feathers, but he's just an Indian. See, when you go out in the community, it's not just about the kids, because some kids are 80 years old in the community. Some kids are 50 years old in the community. They just as hideous as the kids. So the kids see them and think they're representing what an adult is, think they're representing what a parent is, and they think, wow, he act just as childish as me. I guess I have reached adultability. So now I'm going out doing it. But when God's raised up a person, see, it's not even about I never went around the neighborhood saying I'm a pastor. I never went around the neighborhood saying I'm a child of God. I was just doing what God told me to do. Pick up trash. That's all it is. If the community's value, pick up trash. That's it. And then how do you incorporate other people in other households? We got so many people in the household and we're thinking that they were raised the way I was raised. No, there was no uh, a parent book that everybody read. Everybody did how they did. Some parents spank kids. Some parents don't spank kids. Some person yell at kids. Some parents don't yell at kids. They're all raised different, but we're the village. And as we're the village, whoever knows how to walk this thing, walking it, people are looking at that person. They're all watching them. Kids, adults, everybody's watching. How do we fear our community? How do we fear to where I go from my house to the church? I go from my house to the job, I go to my house, to the grocery store, but I never spend time in the community. The most I spend time in the community is driving, but it's not walking. Sometimes we just need to walk around our community, see what's out of place, start speaking to one another. We lost that. We lost that nowadays. Now we just burnt the horn. We don't stop, roll down the window. Hey, Miss Jackie, how you doing? We don't spend time with one another. We don't. You can't let this thing get away. You know, when the kids act up in our community, I go to the parents' house. I don't talk with the kids. I, I tell the kid, I'm going to come to your house and talk to your mother or father. I tell them, I'm going to talk to your mother and father. And then I show up. I don't have idle threats. I say to them, because what you're doing is wrong. I'm going to go see your mother and father. And I show up at the house and I knock on the door. I hear the mother yelling, who is it? She comes down, she opened the door, and I say, "Hey, how you doing? You know, I'm brother James. I do the things in the park with the kids. Your kid is a great kid. They do a lot of help when we're in the park. But today they had a bad day. Today they had a bad day, and they will call them kids down, and they will tell them kids because we don't even know how to talk to our neighbors. You know, we want to go there. One, first we perceive that they're going to be cussing at us because their kid is cussing. That they're
Mhm.
going to be and we already build up this big anxiety thing. By the time we get to the door, we turn around and go back home. We don't even talk because we don't want the drama. Who said you're going to have drama? Who said that parent really know? Look, if you told when my parents read my book today, they are very shocked over the things I was doing. They never guessed that was me doing it. They never. Kids know how to fool parents. They know how to fool parents. So, but this is where we have to. You pay the mortgage in that community, so you're the villager. They don't own property. So you should be out there. You ain't got to fuss with them. You can talk to them with respect and hey, you can believe that they're going to be a good asset to this community. So you don't talk down to them. You don't belittle them. You try to uplift them, and they'll have respect for you. They'll say, hey, Mr. Daryl. Hey, Mr. John. Hey, Mr. Wayne. They'll show respect. They know what respect is. But they can't respect somebody who just driving a car past them all the time, never wave to them, never speak to them. How in the world are they going to connect with you?
Mm.
You
Right.
don't even want to connect with them.
Right.
We're trying to speak life. Let's speak life into everybody. And for the church, here's what the church has to do. What Jesus told us to do. Y'all go into the town, whatever house y'all go to, y'all bless it with peace. Y'all sit there and eat with them until it's time to go. And then you leave. We're not going to the houses anymore. We done made it so taboo for us to go to the houses that Jesus said that we have made it where it's only Jehovah's Witness. Oh, it's Jehovah's Witness. It was the believer's job to go into all the houses. It was not the Jehovah's Witness. It was our job. And we're not doing what we're supposed to do. So, you know, that's where I'm at. But I like this.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Catrice, do you have any uh, words to say in response to Brother Parker?
He is so right. He hit it on the nose. He is so right. It's 50-year-old kids out there. He is so right. I laughed. There's 80-year-old kids out there in the village that's playing out there in the village, on the streets, and that can't tell the kids anything that he sees every day if he's out there. And you know what? And when I started off with my children picking up trash, going down Broadway, and Channel 4 and Channel 11 and Channel 9 followed us. We had our own garbage bags and we were picking up trash. Didn't care who laughed, and we picked up trash. And They followed us, and then I ended up moving in a house, and they wanted to talk to Mommatrice about what made me move from the suburbs and bring my kids to live over in that community to raise my children, not knowing that I was going to lose my children over in that community. And they had put up crosses over in that area, not knowing that my son's name was going to end up on one of those crosses in that community. They was signing people's names, and I lost a son in that community. But that right there wasn't in my hands. That was in God's hands. And when they say God ain't gonna put nothing on you can't bear, by me being a grief and trauma counselor today, God ain't gonna put nothing on you can't bear. I didn't want to accept it, didn't want to bear it, but today I can receive it. I can receive it, and I can tell the next mother how to get through it. And when they say it's going to be all right, no, it never will be all right. But I can live through it. And I'm okay today. I'm okay today. And she can have good days. She can have good days. But she ain't got to be that mother like me. She don't have to be that mother like me. Only if she get her child. Only if she get her child. Only if she get out here in the community. Only if she get out here in the community and do what I'm doing today. You see what I'm saying? Because I was that young mother. I didn't know, but I know today. And it takes footwork. And one thing that we have to do, we can't sit up and just talk about it. We have to be about it. That's what we have to do. We have to be about this. We can prevent a lot of things from happening if we get up. See, we have to be get up parents. We can't just talk about this and how we can prevent it. See, it can be prevented. A lot of this can be prevented. You were talking about how can we prevent this? We can prevent this by getting up and getting out here talking to our leaders about these guns, about these guns, talking to the mayors, talking to the governor, talking to the senator. Matter of fact, my brother is Bobby Joe Champion, senator of Minnesota. Put these guns away. We don't need these guns to protect us. If we got Jesus, what do we need these guns to protect us? To the churches. We got pastors carrying guns today. If you sit up and talk about God, you are contradicting yourself. If you sitting up here talking about God, what are you carrying a gun for? That makes me get up and walk out your church. If you got King Jesus, what do you need the gun for? I'm walking up out of your church. You don't need no gun.
Yeah.
Guns kill. We know what guns do. Guns kill. If
Yeah.
if if we let the army, the police, all these people carry guns, and nobody else get a gun, nobody else get a gun, on the street get guns, we'll be okay. We'll know who doing the killing. You see what I'm saying? We'll know who doing the killing. We can only fight with our fists. If we couldn't get guns, and they the only ones can get guns, and we had to do the fighting, we'll know who is doing the killing.
That's true. It's so true, and I think that these are the things that we need to address, not only on this webinar, but as we said, we have a Catrice. We started a Stopping the Violence National Best Practices National Task Force to really begin to look at these points that you're making more succinctly and putting them on a platform that the nation should really listen to, because it is one of the components that needs to be addressed on a national level, and especially dealing with the parents, dealing with why our communities are acting in the ways that they are. And there's a whole lot of root causes that you have already alluded to that I don't think we addressed strong enough within the context of our community or in the context of our nation. But I want to open up the floor. Also, there's a name for these children, these 80-year-old, 50-year-olds. You know, we call them adult children. Amen. So yeah, they're running around rampant, adult children, and like you say, they stand out there, and our young kids look at them because they're elders, but they're acting worse than sometimes even the children are just setting just impossible bad examples out there for our children, and we have to address that as well. The floor is still open. Anyone that wanted to share some points with Mama Catrice or ask her any other questions.
And I think, Reverend Oliver, that's the key. The adult children are setting these examples in our community. I want to address something that both Mommatrice and James Parker hit on about our community. We reflect on when we were growing up and what that looked like. The neighbors came outside, the neighbors ate together, the neighbors sometimes traveled to parks together, school programs and different things like that, but there was a communication. The unity have to be reinserted into our community, and we have to get back to the basics. One thing that has happened, and as y'all know my story, I didn't give up on my mind. I put on fatigues and went out there in the hood and did what I needed to do to bring mines back home. But in this process, we have to look at how are these guns coming into our community. You know what I mean? They're just bringing them in and dropping them off. Who's responsible for that? You have these cameras that will pick up your license plate tag if you run a red light, and you can see everybody in the car, but you can't see who's dropping off these guns in these communities. And it's not all urban communities. You know, we know that very well because they show up in the suburban community and they go and shoot up the schools, the stores, the hospitals, the courtrooms, or whatever. So we're talking globally here. We're not isolating these incidents. Mommatrice, you said something that was valuable when you talked about the lady and the body bag, and she was able to unzip it and, you know, retrieve her son. It's so many body bags that are being that's being unzipped, but there's no there's no recitation for those bodies. So as we look at mothers and we share their pain, and you know, and we try to help them walk through their situation, you're absolutely right. It doesn't go away. You learn how to deal with it. You develop the tools that you need to continue, but that pain is still there because One reason, because they're senseless murders. Now, a
Yeah.
murder never makes sense, but to
Right.
have them to be senseless to the degree where someone just pick up this inanimate object and just point it at you and shoot you, or there's, an accident, or you leave home with a gun with the intent to cause hurt, harm, or death. You know what I mean? Those are the things that we look at where, as you said, Mommatrice, it starts in the home. But
Mm-hmm.
what is going on in the home? Is it in the home, or is it being influenced by those, what did you call them, Reverend Oliver? Those adult children. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? When you think about adult children, you think about somebody in their 20s, but yet it has been explained, as Reverend Parker said, you're talking about 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 70, 80-year-olds outside doing the same thing that the youth are doing. What are they portraying? And we know that we're under this dark cloud right now, in this abyss, standing on the word of God, trusting and believing God. So that goes back to, if you're in the pulpit and you carrying a gun, what are you really trusting in? What are you really believing in?
Right.
Where is your faith? Your faith has gone to man and yourself, and you're setting a poor example, but you're being influenced by this exterior world that we're living in, and you feel as though you have to protect yourself. I'm protected through the blood of Jesus, and I know that. In this process, as we go out and we're talking to people, and our light should shine bright enough, number one, for
Mm-hmm.
people to be drawn unto us. And when
Mm-hmm.
they're drawn unto us, then we have the opportunity to minister what thus saith the Lord, or to minister, give our testimony of which we've been testing, because we've all had our own life experiences. That's why it's called history. It's his story. It's her story. So we have these tests and trials and tribulations, but there's a message in the mess that we've gone through.
Yeah.
So as we continue in the community, and we're talking to people, and we're, bringing people together, is to say it is time for us to begin to respect one another,
Mm-hmm.
because the respect is not there the way it used to be. Everybody want to be a big me, and everybody else is little, and you do whatever you have to do to maintain your ego, your presence, your uh power that you think you have, which is a total false sense of security. But let's get back to, we have to respect others. When I see young people standing outside of the store when I'm going in, I'll say, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? I respect them. I let them know that I see you. They want
Yes.
to be seen. You know what I mean? So in the process, if we would humble ourselves as the responsible adults, and let these kids know that we are available. You said talk to your children, talk to your grandchildren, talk to your neighbors' kids playing out in the yard. Go out in the yard and see what they're doing. We have cameras around the house, and every now and then our neighbors, the kids run over in the yard, and my husband will go on the camera and he'll say, what are you doing out there? You know what I mean? And you see them, and they're like, oh, you know what I mean? But kids want to be seen. They're kids. And we were raised with things that were age appropriate. You know
Mm.
what I mean? When you reach this age, there was an expectation. When you reach your adolescence, there was an expectancy. That has gone out the window, and it's this fine line where the adults are acting like the adolescents. So the adolescents can only go so far because they see the adults on that same level. So we have to step up to the plate. I'm gonna say this real quick, and I'm gonna get out the way. You talked about Mommatrice, you talked about the parents being afraid of the children. That was a trick of the enemy through society. You
Mm-hmm.
can't discipline your kids. You give your kids permission to call the police on you. Now, there's a difference between discipline and abuse.
Yeah.
Kids need boundaries. Kids needs responsibilities. These are the things that built their character, but when there's no boundaries and they feel as though I can do what I want to do, and if I don't do what you want me to do, I can just call the police. Parents are, a lot of parents between the ages of 18 and 25, they are in survival mode themselves, and they have these kids. The kids pick up on the energy of the parent. The parent, what was, y'all remember that song, Don't Push Me Because I'm Close to the Edge?
Yeah.
Some parents are doing the best they can with what they have. They need help, but the community a lot of times is no longer available. You
Right.
got going on with what you got going on when in your house, what's going on in your house. I got my own troubles going on in my house. But if y'all get together on y'all's troubles, y'all might be able to help each other and bring some balance. You know what I mean? And those are the things that I think, as we're talking to young girls, young women, young men. I talk to my grandchildren and my children all the time. I thank and praise God for my children, because now that they have children, they got it. And they let me know what I was saying when they were younger. They were listening because they taught that to their children. You know what I mean? So my mom used to say, there's no such thing as a bad kid. And I would be saying to myself, they're bad. I play with them every day. They're bad. But what but what she was saying was that behavior is a behavior that has not been addressed. You got a kid, that kid is acting up. If you pull that kid to the side and you say, babe, what happened? What's wrong? It gives them an opportunity to explore and express. Mommatrice, we spoke yesterday and you told me about the conversation with you and your grandson. That was beautiful. You gave him an opportunity to express. And he said, my feelings are hurt. That's one thing about boys. Boys haven't been allowed to express their feelings. And now they're grown men and they still don't express their feelings. And they have one feeling, and it's anger, because all of these other emotions apply to female energy. But they need to understand, as a woman, I have male and female energy. That's my husband. As a man, there's male and female energy, but we have to learn how to balance it. So as we continue to work in the community, Reverend Oliver, as we continue to talk about root causes, let's talk about, let's talk about that. Let's bring that to the table. What these young people are experiencing. Because remember, Reverend Oliver, when we did the mental health conference, that young boy, that young minister, he was like 21, 22 years old. He said, our elders have a lot to say. He said, but my generation, we just don't care. We don't care. So why don't they care? They don't care because they have been given the impression that we don't care. So we have to just win our young people back.
Yeah, Mommatrice, before you address that, I would like to have Wayne come. And Wayne, if you wanted to say a couple words, and then I would like to give you the last word, Mommatrice, to address everything that was said and give the closing remarks. But go ahead, Wayne. Thank you so much, Dr. Madeline. Thank you so much for all of that you just said. It was just a mouthful, powerful. Go ahead, Wayne.
Well, I appreciate your comments, Catrice, and it stirred up a great deal of feeling and thought. And you are not just a mother. A mother can love her own child, but you're a true mother. A true mother has the heart of loving other children as her own. And that's a quality that is not seen so often. I just came from an event in Korea where people from every different nation were brought together by the woman we call God's only begotten daughter, true mother. And she brought people together to do exactly what you're trying to do on the community level, is start looking at each other as brothers and sisters, and not just as a Russian or a Brazilian, but as my own brother and sister. And what true mother has is she has a motherly heart, a motherly love that is a quality that men don't have to that degree. Yes, we can love. Yes, we can have feelings, but not the same way that a woman has. And it's the motherly heart, the motherly love that is really going to make a change. And I think when I heard that we need Jesus, yes, we do, but we need more than what Jesus offers. We need the only begotten Son, along with the only begotten daughter. We need true parents. We need man and woman giving both aspects of God's heavenly nature, a feminine nature and a masculine nature. And this is important to know how to solve and unravel the complexities we're bound in. So I want to leave it at that. And I appreciate your work, Catrice, and keep going. Keep going. You're a strong woman and you're a loving woman. So keep going.
Thank you so much, Wayne and Dr. Madeline. I guess you guys were um, bouncing off each other. So, Mama Catrice, thank you so much. Your story has been beautiful. It has been powerful. And he's right. You have already claimed the true mothership. You've claimed it. You said, when I go out of here, I don't want my biological children to only stand up. I want all of them to stand up. Let the world know those are all my children. And I think you do it because you believe, and it is true that all women have the potential. You're just setting that standard as setting the precedents to bring it out of those mothers, bring it
Mhm.
out of the women, so that we can so that it can play the critical role in stopping the violence in their families and their communities, et cetera, et cetera. So I just want to give you the last words to share whatever's on your heart from what was said today, from the other, people have shared with you and something you might have forgotten.
You know, I just know chains has been broken in my family. My ancestors, I sit up. My grandmother Jenny came here on a ship. I went to one of my old aunties and I got a pencil out and I started writing my history down. And because I wanted to know who I was. And I thank God that I did that. And when I look in the mirror, the best song I ever heard was that song by Michael Jackson, The Man in the Mirror. I thank God for the woman in the mirror because I didn't know who I was. The way I was raised, I didn't, I am not who I supposed to be, but I am who God made me out to be. And I am so grateful. And I walk in his footsteps every day. I done tried to make some detours, you all. Tried to make my detours, but I keep I keep going back to his footsteps. And every time I tried to walk, I walk in sinking sand. But he keep taking me back to his footsteps. And I can't do nothing else but go back. And I am so grateful and so thankful because am I grow and everything around me grows. And it don't be no weeds in between where I am. And I am so grateful. And I'm telling y'all, my health, my health, my youth, everything. Like I was telling the sister on here, I am 61 years old. I want every minute, every second of it. And I spread it all over the land. And I want everybody else to get some of this good sunshine. Did y'all get it today? Y'all
Yes.
get it? Y'all better grab
Yes.
hold to it
Yes.
off of here, cause I want y'all to get it. Cause I got the rest of the day to give some away. Okay, cause I'm finna give some love when I get up off of here. Okay, big old fat grandbaby in there that's 5 months old. She finna get some of it. Okay. And I'm just so blessed, and you all done blessed me today, and I hope I have blessed y'all
Yes.
as well. And I love so hard, you guys. This heart is just beating. Every beat of my heart, there's a beat for everybody. It's a beat for everybody. And I thank you all for allowing me to be on here to share some of what I have inside of me, because I got so much. Untold story is yet to be told.
Amen. Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing. We
you. Thank you
appreciate
so
you.
much.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Absolutely.
so much. And I just want to ask to share with you. Thank you so much for your sacrifice.
Yes.
Sacrifice is powerful, and
Yeah.
sacrifice is love too. You know, it's a lot
Yes.
of love to accept sacrifice, and you seem to accept the sacrifice so that you can create that wonderful platform that you have already created and continuously to create
Yes.
a platform of love for everyone. And so, you know, you are God's daughter, and He's very proud of you. I can see that. Amen. I want to
Thank
thank you so much, and we look forward to you coming back. And also, we look forward for you to come to our conference. Don't you think so, Dr. Madeline?
I think that'd be a good idea. We'll have to talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah, you will be wonderful to come and join us, and we'll let you know. But God bless everyone. Thank you so much for coming on, Wayne, Daryl, Franklin, and of course, always Parker. Thank you so much, and Dr. Madeline. Thank you always for your support, and everyone who is here. We love you. God bless you, and we'll see you next week. I'll be
Yeah.
back in the States next week. So.
Yay! God, because I know that 3 o'clock was something. I had to set
Three
my alarm.
o'clock is something. But I tell you, after I wake up, I listen to these stories, I feel anew. You know, I feel
Yeah, and
revived.
that's what messes up our time. We get
Yeah,
up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and now we're awake like it's really 7 o'clock in the morning in the States, and we
yeah,
want to go on through our day,
yeah.
and it just takes us off. So God bless you. I look forward to your safe journey home. For
Thank
everybody else, until we meet again, peace and
Yes.
blessings. Take care of yourselves.
you. Okay. Thank you again, Mama Catrice.
Mama Catrice,
Bye.
yes.
Yeah, thank you
Yes.
so
Take
much.
care.
God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.
All right. God
Thank
bless.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care, Daryl. Talk to you
Okay.
later,
Thank you.
James.
Thank you.
Brother
Thank
Barry,
you.
hello.
Bye-bye.
Yes,
See
God
you all
bless.
next week. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Thank you, Mama. Oh,